Hi everyone, welcome back to Vivian Light Codes. My name is Vivian, and in this video, I'm going to bring you guys some energies that occurred during January and how we can work with these energies and move forward. Some things that have been coming up. There was a lot of like chaotic energies, a lot of fears coming up. It was very destabilizing. I felt very ungrounded and very confused at the same time. There were a lot of events that had occurred in January where I felt almost kind of thrown off. And yet, there was also a lot of expansion and growth and learning in January. I believe in the previous video, I was talking about getting on that rocket ship and launching into your new reality. And launching into a new reality isn't always rainbows and sunshine, right? Like the journey is not always smooth. There's going to be bumps along the way, and there's going to be a lot of learning curves. And why did we even want to shift in the first place? It almost feels like if you compare it to a plant in a vase, when the plant is growing, but then the vase is so limited and holding this plant back from fully blooming, fully growing to its fullest potential, it feels like a lack of space, lack of opportunity to grow because of the container that it's in. And to help it grow, sometimes you have to pull the plant by its roots and put it in another vase, put it in another environment so that it can grow, it can bloom. Removing it and putting it into something new isn't always easy for the plant. It takes time to adjust, it takes time to adapt, it takes time to feel comfortable. The new vase and environment that the plant is in is now enabling the plant to grow and step into that next step of expansion. And that's where we were in January. We're like towards the end of 2024 and beginning of January, all the things that we feel like has been holding us back and no longer nourishing us has to go. We have to let it go. And stepping foot into something new, it's kind of the same thing where we're just starting to understand the routine and getting comfortable with where we are at in this new step of our life. When we up level our weaknesses, our shadows, our doubt, our fears and pains, our beliefs about ourselves will be revealed to us. When they come up, it is helping us to develop and deepen our ability to hold more space for these denser emotions, integrating our shadow aspects so that we have more ability to hold more space for all that is occurring around us and within us. And some of the things that I went through in January were that I had left my work in the beauty industry that I was in for 10, 11 years. And that was very, very scary for me. And especially it was a family business. So I felt obligated to stay in it for a very long time. I felt really guilty if I had left. And it would have felt like I had abandoned them. And it made me feel really guilty. But I also felt guilty that I had not gone after my dreams and my goals all of these years. Another thing that happened was that my grandma got sick and she ended up in the hospital. I literally was working out and I injured my right foot and could not put pressure on it. And then something crazy that I never expected was that I was involved in a car accident. So a car had came out of a shopping center and just kind of slammed me into the left side, the driver's side, which really shook me up. I don't know all of the reasons for why these things has happened, but I know like I experienced these things that I've never had before because I'm stepping into that new version of myself. And although I don't know all of the details, this is what I do know. When I decided that I was going to step into my courage and leave my job in the beauty industry, I said yes to myself. I'm no longer saying yes to the guilt. I'm no longer saying yes to the abandonment. I'm going to have my own back. I'm going to be there for myself. I'm going to live my life the way that I want. I'm going to achieve the things that I set out to achieve. So, in that way, I'm finally acknowledging my wants and my needs. I'm saying yes to me. I hurt myself. I hurt my right foot during exercise because it gave me the opportunity to use energy work that I've been working with to heal myself, to prove to myself that it works. Energy healing works. And although it was unfortunate, that my grandma got sick and was in the hospital, It brought us closer, and now I make time to go see my grandma and continue to build that relationship. And the car accident, I've never imagined myself in one, but it was a new experience. It was something that triggered my nervous system. So I had the opportunity to work through the fears, work through the trauma, and held myself through the whole process. So during this time of change, during this time of transition, whatever obstacles and challenges that do come up for you guys, I really invite you to take a deep look at it. What is it in this challenge that is helping me to grow? What can I learn from this situation? We have to be able to remove ourselves and look from a bigger perspective to learn and to grow from it versus allowing it to keep us stuck, keeping us limited, and that we can't even get out of it. And, we can stay in this loop and cycle for months, weeks, and years. But we always have that opportunity to just kind of step back and take a look at it and learn from it. And talking about fears and doubts, there's kind of like different layers to this topic, which I do want to get into because I found that it's very important and not enough people talk about this. But like we need to bring awareness to the different dimensions of fear. So, for example, I'm just going to use my example of my work, how I transitioned out of the beauty industry to this new work that I'm doing now with another company. When I was leaving the beauty industry, I was super excited. I still had no idea what was going to happen. I had no backup plans or anything. I just knew that 10, 11 years of my life doing that, I was ready to move forward and to do something new, do something that's more in alignment with my heart, with my soul, and align with the impact that I wanted to make. For the next couple days, I was learning to do different tasks and do different things what I was supposed to do. And this job involved doing things that I had never done before. And of course, that pushed me to the edge of my comfort zone. I was kind of like fearful. I was uncomfortable. I felt like I was definitely being challenged to grow and to expand my skill set. And at that time, I had fears of, oh, what if I'm doing this wrong? What if I'm not doing it enough? What if I make a mistake? What if I'm incapable of doing this job? It made me feel like I was unworthy. It feels really deep and real. And I totally honored that within myself. I went through 3 days of not even sleeping, barely eating anything. I didn't exercise. I didn't drink water. I was crying. Like there was just so much fear and paralysis. My nervous system was shut down. I didn't even truly know how to navigate it because it was so intense. And I just spent like my days like locked in the house, alone and just in fear and crying. So I would say that like the first layer of fear is like the emotion, such as unworthiness, feeling rejected, feeling like you're not good enough, feeling like you're gonna fail and not be who you want to be. These are kind of like the first levels of fear. And then after that, I was connecting with my friend Amy, and I was just talking to her about that. And so we decided to go inwards. I decided to tune in to see what was really going on. And I had found that 24 lifetimes ago, this was before January 24th, which was my birthday, the 24th. I believe this happened on the 22nd or 23rd, where I had went back and discovered that there were 24 lifetimes ago that I had this religious programming installed within me by the darkness, by the shadows, and it was really to manipulate and control. I was killed in lifetimes before this where I didn't abide to the rules of religion, of the darkness, and of the control, and I was killed and murdered, and that created a lot of trauma. So when I stepped into this new company, there was a lot of light frequencies, and then this shadow programming, religious programming came up because it was really preventing me from moving forward to do the light work that I wanted to do. It really wanted to keep me separate from everyone else, kept me in the dark, kept me alone and separated and feeling very isolated so that I wouldn't continue to move forward. So I went in and did a lot of deep work. I went through like several activations with my third eye, my throat, and my heart center. Went back into different timelines to heal the timelines that were affected by this programming. Afterwards, I felt this dark entity on my left side, but it was just kind of lingering there. And I was really curious as to why it hasn't left yet. I tuned in again and realized there was a thin thread of the darkness that was still connected to my heart. My heart had reached out with this golden hand and was loving on this darker energy. And it literally just like pulled the rest of its frequency out of my being, out of my energetic field, and literally snarled at me and hissed at me and literally just like ran off and left my field. So I'm telling you this because it's important. Like when we're doing things, when we're working with energy, when we're stepping into that next level of expansion, it's important for us to tune in, find out where any discomforts or fears are coming from, because it can really keep us stuck. If I had not went back and did the inner work, I would not be where I am right now. After doing the healing and activations to transmute and to let go of this darkness that was controlling me for obviously lifetimes, I was able to move forward in this company and feel a lot more comfortable and confident. But honestly, it took me like a day or two to kind of calibrate what had just happened, integrate the energies and frequencies that has shifted within myself. And that's normal. Sometimes you just need like some time to integrate and to calibrate your energy field and then feel stabilized in order to move forward. It's kind of like if we don't work with these frequencies and energies that are holding us back, you can describe it as kind of like moving upstream towards your goal. It's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very hard. And it's going to require so much more effort and energy to receive and achieve that which you want. And of course, I'm telling you guys this because I want you guys to be aware, be intelligent about the different frequencies and energies that are out there. It's not always love and light. And those who tell you otherwise, they might just not be aware of the different dimensionalities, entities, and beings that are out there. And it's not to create fear, but it's to create awareness. It's important to work with energy because if you're only focused on like your physical world, it's kind of like you don't know what's holding you back. Working with energy, we are all energy, right? But being aware of how to truly work with it can liberate you from so much suffering and pain and stagnation. It's time that we become aware of these entities and implants, these shadow parasites, and we need to let them go so that we can step into that new version of ourselves that's more free. It's time that we claim back our power so that these energies are not sucking your soul and your energy and your creative powers in this lifetime any longer. There's many healers who work with energy, but they're not aware of these other dimensional entities, and they don't know how it could be affecting them, how it could affect them holding space, how it could affect their healing, them channeling energy, and how it could affect their clients. There's always another layer to working in the quantum field. So it's important to be aware because the more you go up, the more expanded you are, the higher frequency that you hold. There are different levels of entities and beings that you want to be aware of so that you know how to cleanse and protect your own energy field, your space, and the people you love, your clients, if you're working with clients. Yes, guys. So I just wanted to bring that up because that was like a big thing for me in January. I didn't even know that this was a thing until I went in and sorted it out. And also, there's nothing to be afraid of. Your guides are always with you. Your higher self is always with you. You're always guided by your team of light. And these kind of implants and entities come up because it's time for us to release them. It's time to release the manipulation and control that they have over us from different lifetimes, from different dimensions. We don't want anything or anyone messing with our energetic field where it can hold us back in this lifetime. So that's what this is for. With that being said, guys, thank you for listening. I know that was deep, but it's really important. I hope you guys understand that. And something else that I wanted to bring to you is that growth is uncomfortable. Obviously, when you step into your next level of expansion, you're upgraded. You're going to be surrounded by people who are on another level, thinking on a different level, operating with different skill sets. You might even almost feel like, what do I have to bring to the table? What can I offer? And that can bring up some insecurities about yourself. Instead of looking at as, oh, poor me, I don't have what it takes. I'm unworthy. I don't deserve to be here. Well, you deserve to be here because you are here. You got yourself into that situation. You cultivated the courage, the boldness to step into that new environment. You were just ready for growth. You were ready for change. And this is what change is. Change causes us to evolve. Evolving means we're adapting to a new environment, to new people, having new skills that we didn't have before. And that means you have to learn to do things you've never done before. And that means we can switch our mindset and be like, wow, thank you for the opportunity to be here with these amazing people. Thank you for showing me where my weaknesses are so that I can learn and grow. Thank you for showing me where I feel insecure and unconfident so that I can work on myself and overcome that. Otherwise, you would just keep being stuck in being unconfident, unskilled, fearful, and limited. Appreciate the challenges that come your way because they're helping you to grow. And guys, this year, 2025, is the year of the snake. And what does that mean? The year of the snake is believed to bring wisdom, transformation, and strategic growth. This is what it says on Google. It is a time for patience, planning, and making thoughtful decisions to achieve long-term success. So, what does that mean for us? A lot of us have been doing the inner work. A lot of us have been doing the healing work. And we've healed enough of ourselves where we can have more courage, where we can take more risk, where we can be more bold. And that means we're more ready to embody that. Embodying that means we're ready to take action. There's going to be a point where we feel so pushed to our limit that we really just have to make that choice that we're going to do it, even if we feel like we're not ready. And when you take little actions towards your goals and towards your dreams, that's going to help you build more confidence. That's going to help you have more trust and build more belief in yourself. And then the things that once made you feel scared and insecure are now going to make you feel confident and that you're more capable of handling it. This is where the union of the divine feminine and the divine masculine comes in because you have this idea now, and it's time that you embody it and put into action to create it. Make it real, make it a part of your life, make it like a real experience in the 3D world. You know, so many of us were raised to control our outcomes, control everything in our life, control our partners, control our children, control I mean, like everything. We just want to control everything because we're scared. We don't trust. And it's exhausting, you know, like it requires so much effort. It requires so much energy to try and keep things in our limited way of thinking and how things should be. But when you open up, you start to realize that you don't have to try and control. The universe is always in flow, is always moving. And when you open up, things will flow into your life that you didn't expect. Like you're going to have like pleasant surprises, pleasant opportunities, and pleasant, amazing people who come into your life to support you and help you grow. You know, January, it's really about this new transformation from within. We're going to be super aware of our energies, what comes in and out of it, keeping our auric field clean, making sure we are on top of our spiritual hygiene because as we elevate, there are entities and beings that don't want that for us. And so it's important to be aware. January was a month of transition. And now it's like we're kind of like, okay, like we're getting the hang of it. We're kind of getting through to the other side. It's getting a little bit more clear. We kind of know like what we're supposed to do next. Honestly, I feel like January was almost like a test. Like, are you going to choose fear or are you going to choose love? Are you going to act in fear or are you going to act in love? Are you going to choose a new reality or are you going to choose your current and old reality? These were all choices in January that were open to us. What you choose is going to determine your next step, your next experience. You can cultivate and develop, embody the leader within, or you can continue to push it down and tell it to wait. And it feels like there's this dragon energy and frequency that's coming through and is ready to burn away all of our attachments, all of our limitations, so that we can be authentic so that we can embody our power, our authenticity, so we can express that creativity and uniqueness out into the world. And the dragons are just like flying around and they're like they're all filled up. They're ready to breathe out that fire and assist you on so many levels. But of course, they're going to need your free will, your permission to allow them to do so, to come in and assist you, assist humanity, assist the world. When humanity elevates and raises in vibration, it helps the earth, which helps the dragons in their mission to integrate this peace and love that has been waiting for. Why? Because when we embody our power, our leadership, our authenticity, we love ourselves. We give ourselves permission to be who we truly are. And that's going to radiate out and help our brothers and sisters in this world. It's going to help the animals and the plants. It's going to help the earth. And we raise the vibration as a collective. Last year was a lot about inner transformation. This year is about us taking that inner transformation and bringing it out into the physical. It's all about taking action now. No more holding back. January was also a month of learning that people's perspectives, opinions, and way of thinking doesn't have to determine who you are. Even if people don't believe in you, even if people doubt that you can achieve your dreams and goals, when people use your past against you, when they judge you, when they don't support you and they don't show you love, it doesn't have anything to do with you. And you definitely don't have to allow it to stop you. So it's important to be aligned with your inner truth, aligned with your authenticity, aligned with your own power. Keep your energy strong and clear and make sure that you have healthy boundaries moving forward, because it can be really easy, because thoughts and other people's emotions are just energy, and it can kind of penetrate and filter into your own energetic field. Accept what makes you feel good and let go of what doesn't. They don't have to determine who you are, your actions, or your future. Be brave and be there for yourself, even if nobody is. There are many people on the planet who are not aware and who are not doing the light work that you're doing. So it's hard for them to comprehend. And that's why it can be hard for people who are trying to move the collective forward. People who bring love and joy and peace to humanity, it can be hard for them when the collective is going against them, because that's what they've always known. And so it's important to step into your courage, into your bigger vision, your purpose as to why you want to do this work that you do. Realize that you're like the new leaders of this era, of this time, and you might be misunderstood by a lot of people, and it's okay. So I have random post-it notes around my home. I had a post-it note that actually fell down. It's always like guidance. So I'm just going to share this with you guys because it brings me a lot of peace. And maybe this is something that you can also have on your wall as well to remind you the same thing. It says, I am in divine guidance. I am always at the right place at the right time. Everything I do is orchestrated for my higher growth, my higher consciousness, and my higher evolution. And it just helps me to feel that things are not happening to tear me down, but the universe and spirit are orchestrating these challenges and opportunities, my whole path, for my highest good, for my highest growth. And that really puts my heart at ease. So I just want to let you guys know that you're not alone. Fear may be present at every corner you turn, but it doesn't have to stop you. This year is your year to create transformation. And when I say work, it doesn't mean if you're not in energy healing work, your work could be baking, it could be cooking, it could be cleaning, it could be art, it could be movement, dancing, it could be gardening, it could be being a mother or a father, it could be being a friend. Your light work is the light that emanates from you when you're doing the work that you love. It is the frequency that you're emanating to the world. It is your light that is radiating out into the collective, into the chaos, into things crumbling around us, that we get to have more hope, that we get to see a brighter future, that we get to embody this love and say yes to ourselves. So whatever light work that you're doing, it's needed and it's special, it's unique, and it's affecting me and everyone around you. So step into the knowing that you are worthy. Step into your power knowing that everything you do creates an impact and it ripples out into the universe. And know that you don't have to do something that someone else is doing. You don't have to be something else. You just need to be yourself. All of our journeys are different. Step into the knowing that you are worthy, that you are good enough, that you are love, and believe that you're beautiful just the way that you are. You are a powerful leader and you're so special. You bring a frequency and light to this world that no one else can. And knowing that, step into your creativity, into your joy, into your fun, and just have fun creating the life that you want. Don't allow other people's opinions or shadows or doubts to hold you back. That is the way out of it. To be yourself, to have fun, to create the life that you truly want. This is a year of transformation. This is a year of action. This is a year of power and leadership, and a year of having fun and creating and just really living your life to the fullest. Give yourself permission to live and to be you. And with that, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for listening, and I hope that you found some of these things that I brought up to be useful. If there's anything that comes to your mind, you can always drop a comment below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much.